Hello again. Like many people, I'm growing a little weary of the endless stream of supposed refugees who are flooding across the English Channel and being put up in smart hotels, where they are presumably brought breakfast in bed and their every need attended to. Almost without exception, these people claiming to be refugees are able-bodied young men who say that they have fled some intolerable situation, such as a war or harsh and repressive regime. Let me explain the difference between genuine refugees and fake refugees. The thumbnail to this video shows some real refugees. These are children from London who were sent to rural districts in 1939 and 1940 so that they would not be exposed to the risk of German air raids. When the bombing had ended, of course they returned to their homes. Some women also left the cities to work on farms producing food for the nation. Meanwhile, the men joined the army and fought to protect their families by putting a stop to the German bombing raids and destroying the V-1 launching ramps and all the rest of it. They went to war and eventually invaded Europe and Germany and put an end to the attacks on their own country. What do you suppose people would have thought at that time of men who simply abandoned their families and fled abroad, not caring if their mothers and sisters or wives and daughters were exposed to danger? Such men would have been looked upon with the utmost contempt. Those men claiming to be refugees are in that position. If it's true that they have escaped war zones, then they have left all their womenfolk and children behind in the effort to save their own skins. Disgusting if true. Of course, it is not true in many cases. Not all those young men crossing the Channel are shirkers and cowards intent upon dodging the column. Some of them are liars and cheats who have come here to take advantage of us by pretending to be in danger. We know that they're not real refugees because of another hallmark of the genuine refugee, which is that they always long to return to their own country and only wish for shelter until they can go back home. The greatest influx of refugees and asylum seekers ever seen in Britain was in 1914 and 1915, when 250,000 Belgians came to England after their country had been invaded by Germany. Imagine that! 250,000 asylum seekers here in just under 2 years. What do viewers think they did when they arrived here? Does anybody think that they decided they wished to live in this country forever? No, of course not. Did they try and become British citizens? No. The second that the war was over and their country was free, they all returned home. They had been longing to get back to their own country for years, you see, and as soon as they could, back they went. Genuine refugees. They always want to go back to their own countries. These are just a couple of the reasons that I do not regard the tens of thousands of young men crossing the Channel each year as being genuine refugees. They are either chancers, hoping to be taken care of by our country, or they are despicable cowards who have fled, leaving their relatives to face mortal danger. In neither case should we be offering them shelter, certainly not putting them up in hotels and feeding them turtle soup with a gold spoon. I invite viewers to stop for a moment and remember the children in this country who became refugees from their homes in large cities, and also to think about all those Belgian refugees who could not wait to return to their own country. Does any of this sound even remotely like the so-called refugees we are seeing at Dover? I don't think so.